last guest, or last speaker I should say, is Ann Gasson.
I am a very dangerous person. I am a stay-at-home mom with a computer in my kitchen. My interest in education started with my two children, who are both in the public school system, and there's a lot of good things about the public school system, but my son has shown me some of the problems with the public school system, and I have been knocking heads since he was in 5th grade. And one of the things that has struck me about it is that the education industry is, and it's a $600 billion a year industry in this country, has been working very hard to convince us that you need to be an expert to educate children, and that parents don't have those expert skills to educate kids, so we really need to stay out of it and just let the experts do their job. And in fact, during the House hearing, those were the exact words that our Commissioner of Education used, as she pandered to the committee and said, the legislature in their infinite wisdom gave control of education to the experts at DESE, and they need to leave the control with DESE. I'm not really sure what they're experts in, because they picked Common Core, which, as we can see, has a lot of problems. It's untested, unproven, doesn't have any data to tell us that it's good. They can't seem to write a grant application that can get funded. They've lost both race to the top grant applications. And they can't seem to communicate to the legislature or to the public in any sort of effective way what they're doing. So I'm not really sure what they're experts in. But I do know, and we learned from the movie Field of Dreams, that if you build it, they will come. And someone has built a system that takes control out of our local school districts. They have put it in the hands of a private trade association who's got control of it through the copyright. They have put it in the hands of consortia, where our state has only one voice out of 26, that if we don't like the computerized format, we have one vote, and we have to convince the other 25 states to go with us. We can't see the questions that are on those test banks, so we don't know what our kids are going to be tested on, and our teachers are going to be held accountable to that. You've heard a lot of this from the other speakers tonight. I'm also very concerned, if you build it, they will come, and they have in the education supply sector. Every publishing company right now wants that golden stamp of approval on their book that says aligned with Common Core, and they are doing that in droves. So this is not just affecting public education, this is affecting your private schools, and I'm sorry to say a lot of our parochial schools are adopting Common Core, and even our homeschoolers are beginning to be affected as their publishers begin to align their texts. This will affect everyone. So if you think you can escape by taking your kid out of the public school, that's not going to work anymore. This is a massive undertaking. This is also, as Senator Nieves said, this is a very grassroots effort. I am working with a group of mothers, and it's at the moment a small group who has spent a lot of time researching and writing and trying to communicate to people. I personally have given 19 presentations, and together around the state we've given 35 so far, and that's just since February of this year. We have developed a website where people can request a speaker to come speak to their group. We are trying to write information and questions that people can go to their school boards and ask. We have tonight, I want to make a note of them, the Children of Light Productions is here videotaping this for us so that we can share this message in a much broader audience. That's why I'm so glad we had Sandra Stotsky here. And they are donating their time. We are donating our time. You'll notice that the handouts that you have today are kind of simple. That's because they came from my kitchen computer. And personal resources get tapped out in this effort. We need to start sharing some of that effort. We make an effort to put all of our documentation on the website so that you can download it. The brochures are on the website. We encourage you to please go to moagainstcommoncore.com, download the brochures, print them out, disperse them as widely as you can. Join the website, there's an online petition, sign the online petition. We do know, Gretchen and I get calls all the time from teachers who are very upset about the things that they're seeing in Common Core. One of the things that Dr. Stotsky did not cover was the era of suppression that has occurred around the development of the standards themselves. She wrote dissenting opinions, Dr. Milgram wrote dissenting opinions about the quality of the standards. 500 early childhood education experts wrote a letter expressing grave concern about the developmentally inappropriate nature of the early childhood, K through 3 standards, where they have essentially pushed down very advanced concepts to the younger grades. Now think, these are the grades that kids are learning to read, and they're being asked to do compositions, to do literary analysis. This will turn a lot of kids off to the process of reading and learning later on. Those reports were suppressed from the committee that wrote the final report on the Common Core standards. They never even saw those dissenting letters. So what I'm going to ask the people here to do is to do your research. Go to your school boards, ask questions. You have to do your own research. If we write the questions for you, you won't know if the answer you're hearing is a lot of fluff. You won't know what follow-up questions to ask. So this, as Senator Nieves says, needs to be a very much a grassroots effort. When Gretchen and I started writing about this, it was very difficult to find anything on Common Core. Now, if you Google it, it's like opening a fire hydrant. There is so much information out there. So it's much easier for you to educate yourselves at this point in time. I do want to let you know some of the other activities that are going on in relation to Common Core. About 2 weeks ago, the Republican National Committee passed a resolution stating that they opposed Common Core and they opposed the data collection. Congressman Lutkemeyer from Missouri has written a letter with the oversight of the House Education and Workforce Committee. That letter is going to go to the U.S. Department of Education next week, and it has several co-signers, including Michelle Bachmann, Rob Bishop, from around the country, as well as over 30 different national groups who have opposed Common Core. And that letter will state their opposition to the process that was used to develop Common Core standards and to the FERPA changes that were made through a regulatory process to a congressional act. Senator Grassley from Iowa has written a letter that will go to the Senate Appropriations Committee seeking to defund any further Department of Education funds for Common Core, which will help if we can cut off the supply to this beast. Just last week, our own Senator Schaefer passed a motion in the Budget Committee to defund any more of the P20 data system collection efforts. We'll have to see if that gets through the final process. And the last thing I want to alert you to is that on May 2nd, next week, there will be 8 meetings that DESE has called around the state. The 2 local ones here, one will be at the Lindbergh School District and the other one at the Hazelwood School District. Now, these are meetings that they have called so that they can tell you how wonderful Common Core is. So we are encouraging everybody to please go to those meetings, listen to how wonderful Common Core is, and then ask them some questions. So we will do question and answer here at this point, and shortly after this evening, we hope to have these videos uploaded online, and again, encourage people to go share the videos with your friends. Currently on the Mow Against Common Core website, there are 5 videos done by the American Principles Project that are a great way to share this topic with other people who can't come to a meeting. There's a place where you can request a speaker to come to your meeting, and those are my thoughts.